Before the foundations of the world were laid, a vast and ordered government existed in the unseen realm, structured in ranks, thrones, dominions, and authorities. It was not chaotic, not mystical, but administrative, a heavenly bureaucracy designed to manage creation. Among these ranks were rulers, beings entrusted with oversight of regions, realms, and eras. They were not merely messengers. They were governors, administrators, and stewards of divine order. But in the quiet corridors of that celestial government, a rebellion began, not with noise, but with ambition. A desire for independence, a desire for self-rule, a desire to redefine authority. When the rebellion spread, it did not merely corrupt individuals, it fractured the heavenly administration. Some rulers fell, yet their offices remained. Their seats were not removed. Their authority was judged, but not revoked. This is the hidden government above the nations, a network of fallen rulers still occupying positions in the heavenly places, influencing the world through darkness, deception, and spiritual blindness. Paul did not describe these rulers as myths or metaphors. He named them as real offices, principalities, powers, dominions, thrones, and rulers of the darkness of this world. These titles are not poetic. They are governmental. They describe structure, hierarchy, and jurisdiction. A principality governs a region. A power administers authority. A dominion oversees a sphere. A throne represents the highest seat of rule. A ruler of darkness manages ignorance and deception. These fallen rulers do not haunt houses or possess individuals. Their influence is far more subtle and far more devastating. They shape cultures, ideologies, and world systems. They operate through atmospheres, not apparitions. Through narratives, not nightmares. Through blindness, not brutality. This is why the world feels coordinated in its confusion. Why nations drift in the same direction. Why moral collapse spreads like a synchronized wave. There is a government behind the governments, unseen, ancient, rebellious, and still active. But this story is not about fear. It is about revelation. Because the mystery revealed to Paul exposes not only the existence of these rulers, but their destiny, and ours. The body of Christ was not created to survive the world. It was created to replace the fallen rulers in the heavenly realm. This is why Paul says we will judge angels. This is why he says we are seated in heavenly places. This is why he says our warfare is not against flesh and blood. We are not fighting for land. We are not fighting for nations. We are not fighting for earthly territory. We are contending with the spiritual government that currently occupies the realm we are destined to inherit. The cross judged them. The resurrection sealed their defeat. But the rapture will remove them. Until then, they remain in place, not because they are strong, but because their replacement is not yet installed. This is why the world grows darker. Not because God is losing control, but because the fallen rulers are nearing eviction. Principalities influence the rise and fall of civilizations. They shape the long arcs of history, guiding nations toward ideologies that oppose the knowledge of God. Powers enforce these ideologies, embedding them into laws, institutions, and cultural norms. Rulers of darkness specialize in blindness, not physical, but spiritual. They obscure truth, distort perception, and create illusions of enlightenment. Dominions oversee categories of influence: religion, philosophy, ethics, and worldview. They craft the frameworks through which societies interpret reality. Thrones represent the highest administrative seats. Some remain loyal to God. Others are held by rebels awaiting displacement. This is why Paul's language is governmental. He is describing a cosmic administration, one that is partially loyal, partially fallen, and entirely temporary. The mystery reveals that the body of Christ is the new administration, a new creation designed not for earth, but for the heavens. Israel's destiny is earthly. The body's destiny is heavenly. 2 realms, 2 purposes, 2 governments. When the body is caught up, it is not an escape from trouble. It is a transfer of authority. The rapture is the installation ceremony of the new heavenly government. When we rise, the fallen rulers fall. When we ascend, they are cast down. When we take our seats, they lose theirs. This is why the tribulation begins after the rapture. The fallen rulers, displaced from the heavens, descend to the earth in fury. The world will not understand what is happening, but heaven will. The eviction has begun. The body of Christ will occupy the thrones, dominions, principalities, and powers once held by rebels. We will govern the heavenly realm with Christ. This is why Paul says we are heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. Not heirs of land, but heirs of authority. This is why he says our citizenship is in heaven. Not symbolically, administratively. This is why he says we are seated with Christ in heavenly places. Not metaphorically, positionally. The fallen rulers know their time is short. Their influence grows desperate. Their strategies grow bold. Their deception grows sophisticated. They do not fear religion. They fear revelation. They do not fear churches. They fear the mystery. They do not fear believers. They fear the body. Because the body is the only entity in creation that will replace them. This is why Paul's letters emphasize knowledge, understanding, and spiritual perception. The battle is not physical. It is informational. Darkness is not the presence of evil. It is the absence of truth. Light is not the presence of goodness. It is the presence of revelation. The fallen rulers operate in darkness because darkness is their jurisdiction. They cannot function where truth is known. This is why the gospel blinds them. This is why the mystery enrages them. This is why the body threatens them. The believer who understands the mystery is not intimidated by the rulers of darkness. He is above them legally, positionally, and eternally. The believer who walks in truth is untouchable by deception. Darkness cannot govern where light is present. The believer who knows his calling is not shaken by the world. He understands the world is under temporary management. The fallen rulers are not permanent. They are placeholders. Their authority is borrowed. Their time is measured. The body of Christ is the true government of the heavenly realm. Not yet installed, but already chosen. When the trumpet sounds, the transfer begins. The old administration collapses. The new administration rises. The heavens will be cleansed. The rebels will be removed. The body will be seated. Christ will be glorified. And for the first time since the rebellion, the heavenly government will be unified, righteous, and aligned with the will of God. This is the destiny of the believer. Not survival, not escape, not endurance, governance. This is why Paul prayed that we would know the hope of our calling, because our calling is governmental, eternal, and cosmic in scope. This is why he prayed that we would understand the riches of our inheritance, because our inheritance is authority, not land. This is why he prayed that we would grasp the exceeding greatness of his power, because that power will be exercised through us in the ages to come. The fallen rulers tremble at this revelation, not because we are strong, but because our destiny is unstoppable. And when the body takes its place in the heavenly realm, the story of the fallen rulers ends and the eternal administration of Christ begins. And so the story of the fallen rulers draws to its final hour as the body of Christ stands on the edge of its eternal calling, not to fear the darkness of this age, but to rise into the government prepared before the foundation of the world. For when the trumpet sounds and the saints ascend, the heavens will be reordered, the rebels removed, and the true administration of Christ unveiled in glory. Until that moment, we walk in light, we stand in truth, and we hold fast to the mystery that reveals our destiny above the nations and beyond the ages. If this teaching has strengthened you, I invite you to stay connected with the journey. Go ahead and subscribe and tap the notification bell so you won't miss the next part of this unfolding revelation. Each message builds on the last, and I'd be honored to walk with you through every step of it.